Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today I've got a very special upload to share with you guys. Luke from Taylor, Mississippi, the Taylor, Mississippi family Dogman encounter, or as his family calls it, the Walking Wolves, is going to be live on my show. Before we get into today's upload, though, a couple links. As you know, I rely on my Patreon, my PayPal, and my merch to help this channel to continue to grow and go. All of those links are in the description below. I also have a second channel for creepypasta, fanfiction, and scary voice acting. Stories that, well, they don't fit on this channel. So if that's anything that you're into, follow that link and give those stories a listen. You may just like what you hear. Now I've taken enough of your time, and I know you guys really want to hear Luke talk, so let's get on with today's encounters. Shall we? All right, everybody. I am happy to bring this to you guys. Luke from Taylor, Mississippi, I had got in touch with him, and he agreed to do a over-the-phone interview. I'm going to do a different format. We're not going to go verbatim the encounters that he had shared with us, with his family. I'm going to give him the floor and let him pretty much run the show for him to tell you what he's experienced and what he's seen. So without further ado, I give you Luke from Taylor, Mississippi.
Hello, guys. Good evening, good afternoon. How are you? My name is Luke Masrich. I'm from Taylor, Mississippi. I'm 40 years old. And I'm just going to tell you, like, what I've experienced down here as far as what y'all call Dogman, but I call them Walking Wolves. So pretty much is I had a normal childhood. Nothing crazy. I always knew about Bigfoot. I never knew about, like, these Dogman creatures actually existed. Yeah, I heard stories from my parents and my grandfather and stuff like that, but I just thought it was just one of them tales to make sure that your kids don't stay out too late to come home and stuff, to come home on time. So it's just a normal childhood. So like I had a friend which I met. I think I was around maybe 7 years old. Joe. It was actual Sasquatch, and it took a while before to like me get comfortable with him, but he never saw me as a threat because he's like fucking like huge. So he would leave me little trinkets and things like that. So like as I got older and stuff like that, we actually became like good friends. I know it sounds like unbelievable, but at the end of the day, this Sasquatch literally watched me grow up all my life. So as there was things that I was noticing that was going on around my property and stuff like that, and I didn't really know what was going on at the time because I was still like somewhat young. My dad and my grandfather at the time was like, "All right, Joe, you need to get in the house, this and that, Joe. There's some animals that we should be dealing with right out there." So I'm like, "All right, well, we got coyotes, whatever. What's that? Mountain lion, cougar, one of them things." So pretty much, all right, I go in there because at the end of the day, I didn't carry no weapon because around my age, a lot of parents let their kids like use firearms, but I never felt that I had any need for it because I never felt threatened until my 20s when I had an encounter with one of these Walking Wolves, and that when I say that really flipped my view on everything over. It did. Oh man, just give me a second, man. Anyway, so just can you just imagine watching any kind of werewolf movie, like the biggest, baddest, ugliest werewolf with teeth, and imagine one literally standing there a few yards away from you. That was that was something that nightmares was made of. Literally, the thing freaking stood up So, like, I literally, like, thought I was going to die that day. Thought, like, can I make it back to my house? Or can I fight this thing? And then, like, when it pointed to me and stuff like that, I saw a few more popped out. I was like, oh, man, this is it. And then, like, I heard, like, a massive, like, roar type yelling thing that I never heard before in my life. Literally, like, down to my knees in fear. And then not too long later, something was moving its way towards me. I'm thinking it's one of these freaking wolves coming from inside of me, and I think it was my friend actually, and he went to bat for me. But y'all already heard this story, but I'm gonna tell you what happened after me getting attacked and stuff like that. I think it was about a couple weeks ago. I had got contacted by one of my friends, Mike, because he lives not too far from me. He lives about like 40 minutes away, still in Mississippi, the next town over, and stuff like that. So he was telling me that he was seeing weird things as well, and giving me a description. He didn't see it verbatim, but he saw the orange glowing eyes, the height of it, and he was really scared for his family. So me and my dad and a couple of his friends went out there to go help him, like, how would you say, secure his home. Like, we reinforced the doors, put security cameras up, put motion detection lights, like security bars on the first level windows and stuff like that. So as we was there throughout the whole day, we didn't have there was no problems whatsoever till nightfall. And then you hear like the howling, the growling, this and that. But other than that, no interaction and stuff like that. So, like, we stayed at his property for a few days, and at the last day, we was pretty much done. It was just it's pretty much getting dark and stuff like that. So it's like, all right, before we leave, we're gonna test out the motion detection light, the floodlights, to make sure that it works properly. So as we're doing that, we hear a growl coming from the woodlots about a few yards out. So we keep our weapons with us at all times ever since like the incident we've been having. So we had our weapons at the arm, and then we was like looking for like the general direction as where the noise was coming from. And then this I think 7 foot. He was like about 7 foot tall, black, dark brown Dogman stepped out of the brush halfway, growling. And then as we took aim, I thought like, all right, if he's showing himself, this one of them's trying to flank us. So we're scouting around looking for like if there's any other movement. We see another one really, really low to the floor, like trying to approach. So my dad takes aim at that one, and I keep my gun on the one that was in the brush. And literally, seconds before we was about to fire, like 2 canister of like flashbangs comes out towards the creatures and stuff like that. These creatures hightail out of there, and we see green dots like following these creatures. So we're like, what the F is going on? So we're looking into the woods, have a flashlight and stuff. We see like got people in like black, like just shadows, like retreating, following these creatures. So we're pretty much like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, are these things being hunted? Are these normal people? Are these regular people? Is this freaking military? Is this like one of those one of them agents that wear Will's guys? At the end of the day, we didn't know what it was, but we hurried up, finished up, told them that everything was good, and we left. We came back to our property and stuff like that. So like a week or two later went by, he hasn't had no incidents or anything of the nature with the ones that have been stalking his house for a few weeks. But like the encounter that my dad, my grandfather, even I had, Like, we know a lot about these creatures. We're not experts, but as far as movements, habits, and these things are very, very, very formidable, yo. They're formidable. They're smart, and they hold a grudge, a serious grudge. So my thing to you guys, to everybody out there who thinks they want to see one of these things or hunt one of these things, yo, that's a big mistake, man. Yo, these things, they like Will said, they come from behind. They also come from the trees, and they're very, very fast. Before you can even get a shot off, they'll be on you in a matter of seconds. Hey, Jeff, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I know when you said that they are formidable and hold grudges, a lot of you guys maybe knew or may not have heard his encounter. I did it in parts, and I did it in one large family upload. And his last, Luke's last encounter showed exactly how smart these creatures are. One entered his home, and he had a firefight. His dad came, luckily enough, to Luke's rescue. I praise God that he did, because it didn't seem, through what you sent me, the email, it didn't seem like you were going to get out without help. Is that a pretty accurate statement?
Yeah, that's a very accurate statement, yo. I had a regular handgun. I had my SOCOM, but at that time it was on the other side of the bed. So first of all, when I see this creature, and I wake up, slowly open my eyes, because I don't know, if you ever had the feeling where something, you could be in the middle of a deep sleep, you feel that something is terribly wrong, and if you move, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
That's literally what that's literally what I felt. I slowly opened my eyes, and I'm like, oh shit. So at that time, something, I don't know what, Cho, but that whole week, ever since I located that thing's den, I had a very ominous feeling like, yo, something bad is really about to happen. Because I usually sleep with my handgun inside my safe, but that time I slept with it under the pillow, because I literally sent my wife and my kids away at that time, because I didn't know what was going down. I was literally terrified. Everywhere I went, I was terrified. And then as this thing happened to freaking be in my bedroom, of all places, it tracked me to my bedroom, Jeff.
Yeah, and it had to go.
My house is not small.
It had to enter your home through a door and go upstairs, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, second floor.
Yeah, so I mean, it literally stalked you. It hunted you, pretty much.
Yes. And then when I was able to get a shot off, and this thing wasn't backing off, I tried to barricade myself inside my bathroom, and the sadistic look on his face, yo, as it was peeling away at the door, it was enjoying it. And he was like, "You're gonna die today." That's the vibe that I got. The truth, you're gonna die today. So I'm like, yo, I only have a few rounds left, yo. Only thing I could do is like, yo, I here for headshots, but at the end of the day, I can't get a clear headshot. So like every time I pick away at the door, I'll fire a shot, and I know I hit this thing, because you know when it hit, you know the sound.
There's a thud.
When the bullet hits flesh.
Yeah, there's a thump, or
yes.
There's a sound. Yeah, when it hits anything, it just there's a connection sound. That's insane.
I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, so I'm like, all right, I'm looking at I'm on second floor. I'm like, so at the time, I'm like, I got a bathroom window. I'm like, yo, do I go out through the window? Because I just take the fall, broken ankle or something like that, maybe able to get out. But as fast as everything was going, I didn't even think I had enough time to get to the window and get it open, because it was toying with me, Jeff. If it really went into that bathroom door, It had got in there in a matter of seconds. I think it smelled the fear on me and how terrified I was. So it just continued to pick away at the door, pick away at the door, pick away at the door, to the point that there was a nice size hole in there for me to see his entire face. And he's looking right at me through the hole, grinning. And then as that happened, I hear shots going off. So then I hear shots going off. It turns and looks out the bedroom door because, like, the way how the house is structured, once you go up the stairs towards the right, maybe about 15, 20 feet over, that's my bedroom door. And it's, like, wide open and stuff like that. And then just looking down at the angle it was looking out, it was looking down. So obviously there was somebody partially down at the stairs shooting at it. So as he's doing that, I was like, yo, I might as well. So I put my gun through the hole and I'm firing at the last, I think it was 5 rounds that I had. So all you heard was like, so the thing decides to take off. It jumps. It jumps. I don't even know how it. Well, from what my father said, the angle that he was on, he's partially up the stairs. Because it's like a balcony. Like, you know how houses, when you go to stairs, there's rails around the whole that separates. There's rails that makes like a U. Yeah. And then it's the stairs. So it jumps over the rail down behind my dad and burst out the door. As he's doing this, all you see is you see blood trails, just freaking heavy blood trails, not nothing light. My dad yelling for me. I didn't answer for a while. So he thought I was dead. I was in shock. It's like you hear something, but you don't hear it. It's just not registering to you. So when it finally did register to me, I was like, yeah. So it come up, he checks me out. I couldn't move my shoulder. My shoulder was freaking torn. I had claw marks. Cause I don't know if I said this. When I noticed it in my room, I grabbed my weapon. I fired at it. As I fired at it, it moved to the side. So I'm trying to make a break for the door, the bedroom door, to run past it. It grabs me by my left shoulder and tosses me back, which hits me throws me almost went through my wall. That's how hard it hit me, and I was getting disoriented. So that, at the time, because
are you a big guy?
Over to the right.
Are you a big guy? How big are you?
I'm 6'2", 250.
So I mean, this thing tossed you like you were a child, pretty much.
It was about a foot and a half taller than me.
Wow. All right, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to.
No, it's not. It's all right. I got an 8-foot ceiling. And it's almost there, with a maybe 6-7 inch gap from hitting the top of the ceiling. The doors are a good 6.5, 7 foot tall, but it had to duck to get inside the doorway.
That is terrifying.
Yeah. So
now, what was your dad?
What was the last thing that I said?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Dad.
What was you were firing? What was it? A 45 or a 9?
45.
Okay, and your dad had what? A 223?
I don't know. He actually had a what's that? He had an AR. Oh no. He had a SOCOM.
Okay, so a 7.62. So you guys were. How many times do you think you made connection? All in all, just you.
Just me?
Yeah.
6 times.
And then your dad was shooting upwards towards it. What do you think?
Yes.
Does he have a calculation?
He hit it. Okay. He had it in the scopes. It didn't know that he was there. He hit it at least with the firing rounds here, a good maybe 7 or 8 times as well.
Okay. All right. And then shortly after, I remember you sent me this encounter, and then you left. Is that what you left? You're pretty much selling that property now, right?
Yeah, I actually put on the market. It was going to sell, but I took it off the market because me and my dad was like, yo, we can't, knowing what's going on over here, to have somebody else purchase this property would be like a heavy burden on ourselves. So at the end of the day, my dad had called a few of his friends because they work construction and some of them like do security stuff. So we pretty much like, we reinforce. We don't put fences up. People's like, oh, just put a 7-foot fence. I'm like, these things jump clear over 15 feet high if they wanted to. A 7-foot fence is not going to stop them from getting on your property. So the best thing to do is put spotlights, motion sensor spotlights, reinforce the door, put security bars on the first level and things like that. Ever since then, we really haven't had anything on our property. Because if something would come on our property, the light will come on. And these things, for the most part, like to stay in the darkness. But I'm going to let you know this, just because they like to stay in the darkness, if they're really pissed with you, they will come into the light and attack you. So don't also just think, as long as we got light, that we're safe. You're not really safe with these creatures, yo. Honestly, though, if you have a Dogman encounter or Dogman experience in your neighborhood, Joe, as long as you don't piss it off, stay away from it, Joe. If it shows up in your window, don't. Our mistake, yo. I think the reason why we had so much bad misfortune was, yo, because as terrifying as these creatures are, the first thing when you're scared of something that terrifies you, looks like a freaking monster, you're gonna shoot the goddamn thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And that, I guess, that was what triggers them. Because at the end of the day, they're like Bigfoot. They're curious. Most times, yo, they will maybe not mess with you, but the minute you show aggression towards them, yo, they will not stop until they get what they want from the situation. And I learned that the hard way.
Now, shortly after, do you think the body you found was that one body? Was it? Do you think it was that?
Oh, I was sure of it. It was it was the same body because we buried the body because we didn't want anybody else or anything else get to it. And we saw all the bullet wounds and the entry wounds of it. Like you had like 1, 2, 3. It had about 4 in the chest, right below the sternum. Another one was like where I believe like his lungs would be. I think that would actually finally put it down because the muscle thickness on this creature is really thick. So I didn't really think that part made it damage. But I think like the angle that my dad was standing from and he fired, he was able to hit a soft tissue and able to puncture the lung.
Yeah.
Because of where we are. Because like that night when what I did notice, Joe, before I was rushed to the hospital and stuff like that, Joe, like I don't know if like if you're a hunter and stuff like that, Joe, if you have a lung shot, you'll see like bubbles in the blood and stuff like that, like air pockets. So that'll let you know that was a lung shot. So as we saw that, and I pretty much like we didn't really like touch it verbatim. We had gloves on because we didn't really want our scent to be on this thing because we don't know, like, as far as there's more. We already know our scent was in the area, but as far as on the creature, that actually led more to us.
Yeah, you did definitely not want a big link like that, you know. That's a murder link right there for them.
Yeah, so we pretty much, we was precautious when we like we went to move the body. That body was heavy, man. That body was heavy. Like, heavy. It took, like, 3 of us, like, giving it everything that we had to just move the fucking body, man.
And then...
the way that it felt like that one, yeah, go ahead.
Then you buried it. And shortly after...
we didn't bury it too far. Shortly after I contacted you to contact William, and he sent in some people there because the body was like maybe about 30, 40 yards from the main road. So we didn't want somebody to freaking like go over there, see it, touch it, this and that. And being that there's Dogman in the area, possibly that'll put them in danger. So from the road, from where the tree, the area where we put it was like maybe another like maybe 10 yards to move it in. Like we dug it deep enough buried it, and then we put like rocks around it, like around it, so you can like even somebody like, so if William was looking for it, he'd be like, this is weird. Let me check this out, you know.
Yeah, and you gave the exact coordinates to both locations, the den and the body. And then shortly after was the encounter with your friend Mike, and then the men in black appeared. And that's insanity.
Like, see, people, what I don't get is, people, there's black and white and gray. People live in black and white. At the end of the day, this like about 65% of this world has not been explored. People say that I'm an avid hunter, but you being an avid hunter, have you been through every neck of the woods? There's certain parts that us as human beings can't get through without machinery and stuff like that. And these are where these creatures stay. Bigfoot, Dogman, I'm pretty sure werewolves too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we were talking.
Just because you haven't seen something doesn't mean. I'm sorry?
No, you finished what you were saying. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying just because you haven't seen it does not mean it doesn't exist.
Yeah. We were talking earlier.
Like, you see God.
Yeah, you don't see God.
Right, a lot of people in this world is Christian. You don't see him, but you know he exists.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between them?
There's evidence every day of the God or Great Spirit or whatever. Yeah. We were talking earlier and prior to the interview, and I was talking about the Oklahoma, and I said, like that den, and it was by a creek.
Yeah.
And then you immediately said, yeah, the den that is by my house is by water. And I found that really interesting because, it's very similar as a traveling or, like just a pit stop, let's say, just like a little roach motel for them to hang out and then move on to the next place where they're going.
Yeah, it's what they usually, like, what I've noticed they do, like, just from, like, the observation and things like that, they take the waterway. They're not too far from the waterway. They use the waterway to travel, actually. They'll travel along the waterway because most times waterway is, like, well away from, like, the public view and stuff like that, and it's easier to get to different locations because it's a straight route depending on where they want to go, and it's unblocked. And then when they're tired, they'll dig a hole, and these things can dig, and they dig relatively fast.
Yeah. Now, for everyone that is hearing this and has not heard Luke's family encounter, I urge you. It's listed Taylor, Mississippi. It's about 10 videos from this one, and his family has had this is generations. It started with his granddad having an encounter, but his great granddad actually saved his granddad's life. So when me and Luke were talking, I was like, this is 5 generations. Now, the property that you live on, is that the same property or around where your granddad's property was?
Yeah, see, our property is not that big, so we put about 3 houses on that property. So the houses are like maybe about 3 minutes by ATV.
Okay.
So at the end, you could just step out and look. You can walk there. It'll take you like 5 minutes to walk. But they're pretty close together. So at the end of the day, if we what happened in the past, for us not to hear what was going on, it was an ambush. He didn't even know that it was happening. Wasn't even able to get a shot off. Nothing. Like what my dad believed at the time, like this thing was stalking him and watching his every moment. So it was stalking him for days,
Yeah.
And found an opening and took it.
Luke's talking about his granddad. What happened, once again, it's up, but Luke got attacked. He had shared that, and the Sasquatch, his friend, went to battle. Luke got out, went to see his dad. His granddad got contacted, his granddad felt obligated to go and help the Sasquatch. Shortly after, Luke's granddad was found dead in his barn, not eaten, but just torn apart. And his granddad had years of experience with what they call the walking wolves, and it is a sad and terrifying encounter that his family has had to endure. And I don't even know. I can't fathom what your family, has gone through. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. But at the end of the day, my granddad is in a better place. I hate the fact that he went out the way he did, though. But I personally think the reason why I survived that night is because my granddad gave my dad a nudge, like, "Yo, your son is in danger. Go to him." He woke because my dad woke up out of his sleep. He wasn't sure it was a gunshot. He thought it was a gunshot, but he wasn't sure. But something was urging him to come to me, which he did. So, and then from that point on, it's still the reason why I'm not today with my father's help.
And like Luke said about the property, his dad heard that shot and got that nudge, and he came down on an ATV. So I mean, in his
boxers.
Yeah,
in his boxers, the boxers and a tank top
on an ATV with his SOCOM. That's I couldn't not believe that. That's wow. It is a crazy, crazy story. And when you messaged me, I never forget that day. You emailed me and you said, "I got a couple encounters. I want to share the first one with you." And I read it and I put it up. And then shortly later, you sent the next one. And I think it was about 5 different emails. And Luke's story has blown me away. I was just telling him, I said, I don't even know how many videos, 400. And there's a couple that stick out, and his is one of them. And it's not because it's fresh. It's because it is one of those stories that you hear and just stays with you, because it's terrifying. It's informative. It's terrifying, but it's crazy. I have no word for it other than informative and terrifying. And I really appreciate you sharing your encounters with us. I feel terrible that your granddad had to pay the ultimate price, but like you said, he is in a better place. Is there anything else you'd like to share with everybody? I mean, the floor is yours. We got about a couple more minutes.
I just want to say, like, I just want to, just to the general public, for y'all believers and y'all non-believers out there, at the end of the day, if you're going to go into the woods, just stay armed, just keep an open possibility, because a closed mind might be the cost of your life. At the end of the day, these things are out there, they see you before you see them. Most times when you've been in the woods, they see you, but they don't really mess with you because they have no need to. But you do have some of those that do stray away and do want to mess with you. So don't get caught with your jaws open, like, oh, these things though is this, and then you run into one and you don't know what to do, and you end up being the next victim. So, guys, please stay safe out there, These creatures are out there, man. These creatures are out there, The reason why there's bodies, it's been proven bodies, but every time somebody puts a body up, the government checks it. I have my proof, which I'm not going to put out there until the time is right. So, by the end of the day, y'all need to stay safe, and carry a firearm with you. It doesn't have to be a high-powered firearm, but at the end of the day, they know what they are, and most times they will back off. But do not shoot unless you absolutely have to. And if you do, like Will said, try to get them in the chest to slow them down and go for a headshot. Because at the end of the day, not too many people can operate a high-powered rifle or high powered hand cannon. My thing is, so what I realized works for me, like when I can't operate, like when I'm only using like a lower issue, if I can generally just aim for the knee joint, so that'll slow them down.
Yeah.
FYI, that will slow them down, and that'll cause them to trip up the fumble for you to either get away or get a kill shot. But most times you feel like you don't get a kill shot if you can get them in their legs, yo. Because that's the only muscle. It's a strong muscle, but that's the only muscle that has soft tissue in it that will cause them to hurt. Well,
wow.
Just stay safe out there, guys.
Luke, I want to thank you very much, and you have no idea how much this means to me. Like I said, your story has stuck with me, and it's just truly, it's an amazing encounter. I want to wish you and your family good luck with everything, and I hope and pray that this all ends for you right now. You know, you guys, your whole family's been through enough, and I hope it ends. So with that, my friend, I am gonna bid you farewell. All right.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Wow. I want to thank Luke for reaching out and sharing his family encounters with us, or experiences. I got to chat with him for a little bit. Great guy. And I hope that he doesn't have any more encounters. And I hope that things get taken care of down there very soon. But yeah, it was a true blessing to have him on. And I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. Thank you, and farewell.